welcome to Heavy Metal Rex. My name's Maya.
And my name is Oasis. Today we're actually going to be talking about my 22 WRX and a lot of other things related to the channel. Now if you're watching this on the 28th of November, happy Thanksgiving. We are actually also going to be going and hanging out with family later this afternoon. But last year I did make a video on Thanksgiving for a lot of people who probably have a pretty boring Thanksgiving. Maybe you guys are at home, maybe you're hanging out with family, you don't have a whole lot to do. Personally, I don't watch sports and most of my family does, so I tended to be on my phone anyway. But I wanted to basically give thanks to a lot of different things and a lot of different people, a lot of different companies that have been monumental in the success of this channel throughout this year and even some of last year as well. And obviously I'm joined by my special guest today, my daughter Maya. Now she has a couple of things to say too. I asked her last night if she wanted to be a part of this video. She was very adamant about it. So I'm just gonna get right into it. And before I say this, my biggest thing is everything that I do on this channel is for community. It's my favorite thing. It's, I think, the reason why anybody else wants to be a part of this. You know, Subarus are kind of like a cult. You know, that's what a lot of people say, and that's where the community portion comes in. So I wanted to start by giving thanks to the companies who have been monumental in a lot of the success that I've had, starting with Perrin. Now, Perrin has been with me since the very beginning. I know that there's a lot of different companies out there, but because he decided to help me out in the very beginning, he sent me a intake, and that's kind of what started a lot of the race videos that I was doing last year, was just the fact that I had an intake, a tune, an ethanol tune, and I was going all over the place doing all kinds of stuff. So a big thank you to him. Import Image Racing, who was incredibly helpful for when my car was lowered. Obviously I had their wheels, I had their coilovers, a couple other parts, aero parts on there, so really thankful that they were willing to give me a shot, even though I was still fairly a small YouTuber at that point, maybe 1,500 to 2,000 subscribers. Really small in the sphere of YouTube. Even now, obviously, at almost 14,000 subscribers, I still consider myself a very small portion of the YouTube community, but it was amazing to me that they were willing to help there. Aeroflow Dynamics, obviously everything that they have done in the last year and a half, you know, the whole thing with SubiFest, a couple of parts, and just being overall really chill dudes, and also hanging out with us. Jeff actually came out to the channel when we did our Forza night, which that was a lot of fun. That was pretty cool. JDMuscle, of course, also super helpful. I still run what I think is the best grill on the WRX, which is the carbon fiber Amuga grill, which I know people have their opinions on, but I don't care. I think it looks awesome. Cobb for pretty much like the overarching reason why a lot of us are even here. Majority of us have tunes from Cobb, and the fact that they have spent all this time, this last 25 years, actually just had their anniversary, reverse engineering these ECUs so we can even have the fun that we have on these cars. And of course, you know, letting me come out there last year and wait, was it last year? No, it was this year. Letting me come down this year and do the whole interview down there and giving me the tour of the factory. Marshall, that was really nice. I really appreciate that. Felix Performance. When I was on vacation, I actually reached out to Melanie, James, and Anthony to see if they'd be free for me to come by and do that video, which was a lot of fun. I got to road in their 600 horsepower WRX. You know, I was able to ask James all these questions, able to ask Anthony all these questions. We kind of had like a mini tuner talk. And of course, he's been on Tuner Talk a few times too, so big thank you to them. Subi Mods, this team and I had never really connected until recently. They allowed me to come down to 2 different Subi Fests this year, which was really nice of them. And I know that it was kind of last minute, but I was still really thankful to be able to get in and do that. And hopefully we can work more in the future as well. And of course, here locally, Ecotech. You know Ecotech, right?
Yeah.
Do you want to tell everybody who Ecotech is?
I forget.
You forgot the place where we had the Hot Wheels?
Yeah.
We did the Hot Wheels racing? Okay. She doesn't really remember.
I remember.
You remember them?
Yeah.
You know that's where I work now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Ecotech, for pretty much everything that they've done from the very beginning, because they're our local Subaru shop, and they really care about enthusiasts. I mean, they care about everybody, but they are enthusiasts themselves. So the fact that I got lucky to be in a city and a state where there is a large caring community and a caring shop that has helped me out a bunch. You know, let me bring the car up there whenever something was going wrong. Let me bring it up there to do dyno videos, which is very awesome. You know, and the the reasons why I'm thankful for Ecotech go well beyond just like what I've done to this car. So so these are the companies. And I want to say, and I understand that a lot of these companies that I've mentioned are competitors, and if you ask them themselves, they'll tell you the same. But at the end of the day, my belief is that we are a community, and their end goal, obviously, they may be for profit. Their end goal is still, I hope, community, and to be able to bring a lot of the Subaru people together, however it is that they do it. And you know, that's my belief. And regardless of what they say, maybe they disagree with me. You know, at the end of the day, hanging out with everybody, sharing your Subaru, the love of your car with other people who also get different parts or whatever and customize it, that's the end goal, right? That's what I care about, which is why I wanted to thank all of them, you know, not individually single out one over the other. Now there's a bunch of people that I'm super thankful about as well. Graham for doing all the tuner talks and basically giving us all free advice. You know, let's be honest, some of these tuners kind of don't want to do that. So that's a pretty cool thing that he did. Anthony, of course, has also done quite a lot of tuner talks. Adam here at Ecotech has done one tuner talk, but I kind of want him to do a bit more because I think he is incredibly knowledgeable. I want to be able to use him more. And some of the content creators that I've met throughout this year, Joey Montalto, I got to hang out with him this time when I went to Orlando. He actually let me spend the night at his house, and I jumped in one of his videos. That was pretty fun. I got a chance to meet Cody from Street Inspired. I've actually been watching Cody for my VA WRX for like the last 4 years, or 3 years prior, when he was over at Import Image Racing and everything that he had done to his WRX. That was like a really big help for myself and like a lot of people in the community. And I know that he's, you know, things have changed for Cody, but I still wish him the best and best of luck. You know, I got a chance to meet Kevin Vo. That was really cool. You know, I had been watching him when I had my VA WRX, and the fact that I could now I was in a position where I actually got to meet him and do a video with him. That was really cool. And we're going to be doing a lot more stuff in the future. Tanner at Smedia, a friendship and a relationship that I never would have guessed would have come forth, and the fact that like we hang out all the time, we talk all the time. We actually started a podcast called Around the Intercooler, which I haven't really mentioned a whole lot, but I'm working on getting it actually set up so it gets sent to Spotify, Apple, you know, YouTube, it's a real podcast that we're going to be doing every week for the car community, more than just Subaru. So I think that's going to be really fun. Misha, who's the owner of Ecotech, a billion and billion and billion and billion thanks to him, because he is actually incredibly helpful in helping me move from my IT field into, you know, working at a performance shop, which is, again, I want to do a whole separate video on that because that is incredible. And Mark, a lot of people you don't know, most of you don't know who Mark is, and I'm not going to go a whole lot on it, but he knows who he is, and if he's watching this video, his help and everything that he's done related to the channel, related to SubiFest, you guys don't even understand. Like, when I go down to SubiFest, the reason I get to live the rockstar life that I get to live is 100% because of Mark. So thank you so much for everything that you've done. Now, before I have two more things I want to talk about, but I want to talk about the car. This car has been such a kick-ass car. I know that many people, not many people, some people have had issues with the engine, some people have had issues with the transmission. I'm at 54,000 miles. My engine is rock solid. Yeah, I've got a little bit of oil leak, but it's my fault, and I'm going to be fixing that soon. And yeah, I kind of messed up the charge pipe then, but that's also, again, my fault. The transmission still feels great. I think the clutch does need to be changed, which the next big update for this car is going to be the STI transmission. That's going to be happening. I actually talked to Misha this weekend, or this last week, very soon. We're going to be building an STI transmission from scratch, putting it on the car, and everything that goes along with that. So that's going to happen. Just buying this car and doing this stuff, I have to be thankful the fact that this car has taken me to a lot of places that I would have never expected. Obviously, all the SubiFests, meeting all these people that I've met, working with all these companies that I've worked with. You know, and something that many content creators have told me is Cobb doesn't always work with smaller YouTubers, or sometimes even YouTubers in general, or rather that they're very selective on who they work with. This car let me work with them and like actually know them on a friend level, where I can talk to them and provide feedback, and they trust me with the things that I do. That's a pretty crazy thing that it's not really a normal thing, and it's I'm thankful that this car has taken me so many places. Now, one other thing I want to bring up is you really enjoy the things that this car does. What happens when I come and pick you up at school? What do all your friends say when they see this car?
Wow.
They say wow? Do they all point? What about when they see the pink on the car? What do the girls say?
They say, look at that Barbie car.
They say, look at that Barbie car. This is a real thing. I go to pick her up from school and we have to stand in line and it's nothing but SUVs. And the kids do say, wow, look at that Barbie car. Now, what do your friends say when they sit inside the car?
I don't know.
Okay, more specifically, when Alina is sitting in this car, what does she say? Well, you know.
She says lots of stuff.
Okay, but what about the car? What does she say about the car?
It's cool.
Okay, does she say, go fast?
Yeah.
Does she say, make it pop when we go under the bridge? Okay, well, these are the things I want you... Okay, what about Sunny? What does Sunny say when she sits in the car?
Go fast.
Yeah. And when we all talk about my car, do all your friends want to sit in it and ride in it? Because I remember when I was picking you up the other day, Abby was like, I don't want to go home with my daddy. I want to ride in your car with Maya. Abby was like trying to get into the car. And I was like, Abby, you got to go with your mommy and daddy. I can't take you home.
Yeah.
Okay, sit down. She had like a bunch of things that she wanted to say. Now she's getting shy on camera. Two more points that I want to make. My wife. I know that this year has been a little difficult for my wife and I. As you guys all know, if you're married, that there's always ups and downs. And, you know, unfortunately, lately there's been more downs than there have been ups. But that said, she has still been incredibly supportive of everything that I've been doing on the channel. Sometimes it is hard for her, me leaving for extended periods of time to go on these trips. You know, obviously they cost me money, they cost us money, you know, then they cost us time. I'm not here to hang out with Maya. This year, I was her soccer coach. I actually had to miss a few weekends of soccer because we had Subi Fest during October. We had 2 Subi Fests in October, and I ended up having to miss it. Unfortunately, you guys didn't really do a great job this year anyway. Yeah. Maybe next... Actually, we're probably not even going to play soccer next year. So, big thank you to her. I know that she watches some of these videos. I don't know if she's going to watch this one, but hopefully she does. And I tell her all the time that, you know, it's... If I was by myself, it was a different story, right? There's nobody else waiting for me behind. But the fact that she is sitting and waiting for me, and the fact that I'm gone for all these times, you know, and she still handles everything. She handles all the stuff with Maya. She handles everything around the house. It is a big, big help. And some of you know that sometimes getting your spouse on board with your dreams is not always the easy thing, or maybe vice versa. Maybe you getting on board with your spouse's or significant other's dreams is not an easy thing. So make sure that you guys don't, you know, keep yourself from doing these things that you want to do. And truth be told, if this ends up becoming like a really, really big thing in the future, then she can say like, you know, I've helped make that happen. And that's a pretty big deal. Now, the very last people, and obviously not the least, is the most important of all of this. It is the thousands of people who still continue to watch this channel. From the very beginning, it is not possible for me to do any of this without the support of you, the viewers. I sound like a PBS commercial, but it's true. You know, viewers like you make this channel possible, and even all the other smaller channels possible. We cannot do what we do without the support of you guys. This year at Subi Fest, I met over 300 people, and I apologize. I don't remember all of your names, but I definitely remember what you look like, especially when you tag me on Instagram or you message me on Facebook and say, hey, I met you, and I look at the picture, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember exactly who that is. You know, the fact that you think that what I'm doing is useful to you, useful to the community, helpful in some way, you know, that means a lot to me. And I try, everything that I do on this channel, I try to make it in a way that is useful. I try to make these videos, I make these videos for myself. If I wouldn't watch them, then I don't really make them. But the reason why I make these the way I make them is because it's how I like it. So if that's helping you guys, thank you very, very much. Really, you guys come to the live streams, which is really appreciative. You guys come and support on my other channel, which I'm trying to slowly make. I haven't done a great job, the Ecotech channel for their YouTube. which is really hard to do because I don't know that much about old EJs, but I'm learning. And everything that, even like when I go do like track days or like literally anything I do, you guys are here. So I'm incredibly grateful and thankful for you guys. And I want to tell you, next year is going to be even better because I joined a race team, like an actual race team. I joined an actual nonprofit, which I have to put some work into. The whole car is changing completely to the point where I might actually need a daily because I don't know if this is going to be something that I can drive every day. Obviously the STI transmission, I am going to be doing grid life, and if all goes well, I'll be doing grid life in the street mod series, which is the higher tier series where like Dewey's in there and a lot of these other faster guys and my other buddies in there. These 600 horsepower cars of people who really know how to drive. So everything about this car is changing. It's gonna be new wheels, new tires, new suspension, new aero, custom, a bunch of custom aero. Actually, we were talking about making everything. We're probably gonna be working with different companies to put out new custom parts that aren't in the market right now. I don't wanna just take stuff that already exists in the community. I wanna work with companies who don't have VB parts currently. Maybe we can develop something, maybe develop new suspension kits, maybe, things like that. So there's a lot that I want to try and do. I won't know until the next year starts how well that's going to work, but I'm going to give it a shot. And my good buddy Juan, he hasn't really been on the channel yet. I actually planning very soon to do a video with him because it's his race team. And he has a really, really badass S2000 that he races over there, which is going to be, so there's a lot more to come, and my goal is to take the faith that the community has given me and take it to the next level so that you guys can also have somebody who champions our car in like bigger motorsport, stuff like that. So hopefully you guys are ready. I know I am. I can't wait for this year to be over so we can start. Maya, are you ready for my car to turn into a race car?
Yeah.
All right. All right, say bye to everybody.
Bye.
Thank you so much for watching. Have a great holiday, and I will see you guys in the next one.